Hi, welcome to the inaugural episode of the DMV Autocross Podcast. I'm Danny Ko.
And I'm Tabesh. Thanks for tuning in to our episode 0.
Our goal for this podcast is simple: to bring you an engaging, accurate, and informative podcast covering local autocross clubs and events in the DC, Maryland, Virginia metro area. We'll be fair to all clubs, offering insights and help the amateur motorsports community navigate this thrilling world of autocross.
Expect some lively discussion on fundamentals of autocross, event highlights, and much more. Our inspiration for this comes from a dedicated autocrossers as well as the thriving DMV Autocross Facebook group.
All right, so join us as we embark on this journey, aiming to foster a healthy enthusiasm for autocross in our community. All right. And now we're going to meet our hosts, right? So,
Yep.
Ada?
Yep, let me introduce the hosts of our podcast. We have Danny Ko, Tabesh, and other draft picks to be named later. I'm Tabesh, and here's Danny.
Hello there. Hi, I'm Danny Ko. I'm your not-so-typical 58-year-old autocrosser with over 18 years of experience from motorcycle racing to marathons. I've always loved competition. I've raced with numerous clubs in the DMV area, attended solo championships and won pro solo events, and even a super challenge. My passion for autocross and track events runs deep, and I'm excited to share my insights and experience with you. Ada?
Hi, everyone. I'm Tabesh, and following in Danny's footsteps a bit backwards, we could all use a good laugh, right? I should have gone first because, I go first, you go second. I'm excited to share a little bit of my journey. My passion for autocross has taken me to several regional competitions, and in 2023, I achieved a personal milestone by participating in my first nationals event. Additionally, I've delved into competitive time trials, having completed my first inaugural event last year, and it is a privilege to be here alongside Danny, and I eagerly look forward to seeing everyone out there on track.
All right. Thank you, Ada. So now this is our episode 0. So we have different segments of what we're trying to convey here in this podcast. So right now into our segment is this week and next week in DMV Autocross. All right. So despite the winter chill, autocross events are heating up. NASA Mid-Atlantic has a fast event at Virginia Motorsports Park on January 20th. Expect challenging courses designed by top-notch autocrossers. Like Tim Arrow and Corny Cormier, and maybe Mike Johnson will make an appearance. Ada?
Nice. Yep. The Greater Washington Section Mercedes-Benz Club offers a promising 2024 schedule with 15% off for the entire season. There'll be 9 events starting in March through November, and all events will be held at Summit Points, Washington Circuit, and Potomac Pad. The event registration is available at motorsportsreg.com, and I think we will be talking about that website a little bit later.
Yep. All right. And meanwhile, PCA Potomac, who offers a luxury of Emirates business class level events. I just made that up because the events have breakfast and lunch included.
Emirates business class.
Right. It's going to be at Summit Point throughout the year. There will be an autocross school and 7 events at both Washington Circuit and Potomac Pad, and the registration will begin in February.
NCC BMW CCA has Summit Point lineup and more info to come. But don't miss that Refrigerator Bowl track cross on January 13th, I believe.
That's
or
correct.
14th, 13th. Okay, great.
Yep.
We will be there. I will be there. Danny will be
All
there.
Right. I'll be there. I'll be there in my slow Miata, but I'll be there.
Oh, we can't. Oh, okay.
We'll see. We'll see. All right, and then that concludes the what's coming up. So our next segment, we're going to cover some event highlights and results, and then typically we were going to talk about the event that just finished. But since there hasn't been any events in 2024, we're going to cover the winners of the season-ending winners or the championship winners for WDCR, PCA Potomac, NCC BMW, CCA, and Brandywine Motor Clubs. And then these clubs all awarded their 2023 class champions.
Right. Starting with WDCR, WDCR awarded its class champions for 2023. The award ceremony is usually planned at the beginning of the season. It might be February this year, Danny. I'm not exactly sure. But the class champions are Jack Chrissy in C Street, R. Delarite in D Street, Dustin Grubbs in G Street, Rusty English in SSC, Mark Gange in STH, Stephen Courtney in STS, Lenny Woolcock in STX, Marcus Pine in STR, Sean Glazer in STU, Sean Roberts in CSP, Al Paceno in DSP, Atta Tabesh and Jarrell Botet. You made me read my own name. XSA co-champions. Thank you, Dave. Okay, all right. Greg Jones, XSB, Nolan Sheehy, SMF, Bob Hossman, SSM.
All right. So Ada didn't get the essence of how to announce himself as the winner. So
that was
So so I will follow up with this. After 7 events at Summit Point, the winners of the PCA Potomac region 2023 seasons are John Cho for the improved class, the best driver ever, Danny Kao, won the modified, Sam Versallo, the worst driver ever, won production 2. I'm sorry, Sam. Dwayne Norman, production 3 winner. Tessa Hall, with her beautiful GT4, wins production 5. Brandon Jones, showroom stock 1. William McHenry, the second, showroom stock 2. John Bendankovich wins showroom stock 3. Rafael Garces, showroom stock 4. And David Critcher, with his fast GT3, wins showroom stock 5.
For NCC BMW CCA, your 2023 class winners are Rafael Garces in S1, S. Lawrence, S2, Ryan Gorbo, S3, Christopher Moody, T1, Raymond Junkins, T3, Florette Abzau, Novice, Corey Brown, Mini, John Letizo, X1, Howard Lycan, X2, Mike Brown, X3, and Jonathan Lair, X4.
All right. Congratulations to the BMW folks. And for BMC, which is Brandywine Motorsports Club, the final 2023 standing of the club season yield an overall champion, and the winner is Ken Roller. Ken is a member of the Philly SCCA region and one of the fastest autocrosser in the country. I believe he won a guitar at Nationals this year. And our second place is Craig Mahefka, and Craig has been destroying everybody all year, especially at the Ripken events. Third place is Patrick Gaffney and his beautiful GT4. And congratulations to all the top 3 fastest driver for Brandywine. And congratulations to all the champions, and stay tuned for more exciting events this coming weeks. All right. So for our next segment is our feature of the week.
All right. This week's topic: how to make a fun autocross car. Spoiler alert, stickers make any car fun. So Danny, did you want to kick this one off? Because I know you have some thoughts about what makes a fun autocross car.
Well, I mean, I do have a few years of experience in building autocross cars by now. So I do have a philosophy of how to make any car fun. Right. But that probably has a lot to do with your driving style, right? So the first thing I was thinking was, in order to make it fun, the car has to turn.
Sure.
Right. Yeah. So for me, front camber is a must. So whatever you do to your car, get the maximum front camber out according to rules, will be the number one thing I do. Yep. And then number 2 thing to do is a sway bar, right? Because a lot of times you need to control sway, you need to control balance, and then not everybody can buy expensive shocks or changing springs or any of that stuff. But sway bar, if it's as long as it's allowed, it's an easy change, with the exception of the ones you have to pull off subframes. Of course, that's a little bit different. That hard. Yeah, it's not too bad, right? So and I would say. Sam Strano, multi-time national champions, told me 17 years ago that just buy a sway bar and that would be fine. And of course, I didn't believe him, right? And then 15 years later, I learned, oh my gosh, all you need is a sway bar. So sometimes people are a little dense like myself that could never get there, but that's probably one of the most effective way to adjust for adjustments or create balance for your car. But most importantly, you need tires.
Okay.
Right.
So the question, going back to the question, how to make a fun autocross car. You said sway bar. You said alignment.
That's right.
And you said
tires. Yes.
Tires. What do you mean by tires? What is that? What is that?
All right. So, you know, I'm a tire snob. so I think that any car can be fun to drive as long as you put the right tires on.
Okay.
And then, of course, you have to play with different conditions because all of these tires are made specifically for one condition or the next, one temperature or the next, one surface or the next. Okay. So tires is one of them. And then just to figure out what tires to use could cost you $1 million. $1 million, yeah. $1 million. And all kinds of time and then a bunch of sets of wheels and all of that stuff. Yeah, but in general, once you can master what your tire selection for your events, you're gonna have a lot more fun than when you don't. So yeah,
sure.
That's kind of what I'm getting.
Okay, I like it. All three of your answers were good answers. I think that they're good answers for anyone, not just experienced, not just novice. It's across the board. Alignment, tires, sway bar, right?
That's now, right. Adam, what do you think? What do you think to make the fun autocross car?
So that's where we're not exactly aligned. I think your answers are what makes a fast autocross car. And if your goal is competition and speed, you're right. But sometimes fun doesn't necessarily mean going fast. And I'm going to say right here, right now, exhaust. #1 mod, because it sounds so nice and all the girls come running when they hear that loud exhaust, and that's a fun. And if you roll up in your stock exhaust and you're like, yeah, I autocross, you know, I'm a racer, no one's going to believe you in your little Prius sounding car, right? But if you roll up, rumble in the windows, everyone's like, this guy is the fastest and the best. And that's all that matters, because I lie about the results anyways to my friends and family. Who cares if I came in last? The car's loud. They know I'm fast. There it is.
So I have a quick question.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So when was the last time that your loud exhaust car attract any women at all?
Okay, so it does. Okay, that's not actually how it works.
No, does your wife even?
It repels.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
It repels them.
Your wife will 100% come to you and say, "Ada, shut up the car."
Yeah, shut up. So you know what? I see what you did. You put me in a corner here with my answer, especially after I said the women come running, because they run away. Actually, is what happens.
That's right.
But I like it like that. I like most of my friends being male.
Yeah. Nice. You know, I would say, are
we done the podcast yet?
No, most old guys like me probably don't mind either, because we can't hear anything anyway. So,
because we're getting hard of hearing.
So the counterpoint is since we can't hear anything anyway, we can't tell the car was fun or not.
True. Okay, I'll give you that. But what about people under the age of 50 that have amazing hearing, like myself, young, full of energy, some would say full of life?
Let me think of a few people that in autocross that are under 50 that does not have any energy. I know a few, but I'm not going to name them.
We should definitely move on to the next section.
Okay, yeah, we should. So I think that, okay, ultimately we did previously discuss this before, and Adam and I did come to a conclusion or agreement on what makes the autocross car fun, which is
stickers.
Stickers.
The more stickers, it doesn't matter about anything else done to the car, even if it's stock. You got a bunch of stickers, it's going to be a blast.
That's right. That's right. So more importantly, I mean, when you look at Ada's car, right? It's got stickers over the place.
Oh, many
and
stickers.
You know it's going to be slow, but you know he's having fun.
I'm having fun.
Yeah. So one thing we're agreed on is stickers. Make sure you guys have stickers.
Lots of stickers. Doesn't even matter what the stickers are about.
That's right. That's right. You know, you can have Andy Toon stickers.
Those are magnet. The nice Andy Toon ones are magnets. Yep. There are stickers, old school, but the magnets are chef's kiss.
That's right. That's right. All right. All right. So as you can see, that's sort of the feature of the week, and then every week or every show we'll try to provide a feature of the week or a feature of every 2 weeks. And then we'll try to come up with something, and you know, the presenters, not necessarily myself or Ada, you know, we'll discuss the feature and the benefits for autocrossing. All right. So our next segment is meet a new autocross friend. right?
This isn't the last segment though. There's another segment after this.
Oh, there are plenty of segments.
Okay, just making sure. Just making sure.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So in future episodes, we'll introduce you to a new autocrosser and share your stories and make connections. You know, who knows? You might be the next feature friend.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
But today, since I don't have any friends and Ada's here.
I'm here. I'm literally
That's
here.
right. He's the only guy here. So you'll meet Ada as your new autocross friend, right?
I'm waving.
Or autocross friend, whatever, right? Okay, so first of all, from Columbia, Maryland,
Ellicott City,
5'10" tall. You know,
5'9.5".
anything I'm saying here are
Making
not going
it
to be
up.
accurate, except this coming one, weighing 120 pounds.
I'm like almost 200 pounds, right?
Yeah.
I need to start eating healthy again.
The contender for the XA championship of the world is Ada Tabesh. Hello, Ada.
Hi, Danny. I'm honored to be your new autocross friend. If you see me at an autocross, please come over to me. I'll be your friend. If you're a novice or if you're a veteran, I like meeting new people. I like meeting people that I've known for a long time. So thank you, Danny. Thanks, and don't worry, everyone. This will be a lot better when we have real autocross friends joining. So.
You know, be afraid. Be very afraid. That's what I would say. So, Ada, I always have questions for you. So in this segment, we definitely want to ask you, some brief questions so that people can understand you better, right?
Okay.
So I think that these questions will make our listeners to know you better. That's 100% sure that discovers a little bit more about Ada, right? Yeah. So my question one is what is your fascination of the 4th gen Toyota Supras?
Good question.
So one,
yep.
and then the follow up to that is why they suck so bad at autocross?
Okay. First of all, this is it's a good question, the first part, and then the second part is just no one's developed one of the best cars ever made for autocross. If anyone developed it, it would be illegal. They'd make it a class just for 4th gen Supras. But let me answer your question. The fascination, it's not a fascination. The car is the greatest car ever built. All right, so let's just put that out there. And it's not just the greatest car ever built engine-wise or transmission-wise. It looks the best, and it's just the best car ever. So it's not like a lot of people have different opinions about what's their favorite car, what's not their favorite car. Everyone's favorite car should be the 4th gen Supra, Mark IVs. That's all there is to it. I have a 5th gen Supra, and it's an incredible machine. And some people would say, hey, it turns better. Hey, it's faster. Hey, it's a better car all around. And while that might be true, it's still not as good as the 4th gen. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, is it because the 5th gen Supra is a BMW?
We need to skip to the next question. All these questions are terrible questions. Why are you doing this to me on episode 0?
But I'm going to counter back. I think that in that same era, the Nissan twin turbo is probably better.
Yeah, you're talking about the GTR, or you're talking about the other twin turbo, the Z, the Fairlady Z.
The twin turbo Z is probably better.
So
if I know that you're not that old, but back in, oh my God, was it 1994 Super Bowl when the twin turbo Z came out, in the Super Bowl commercial, and I started kissing TVs.
Well, okay, that's okay. First of all, the Z did not come out in 94. Let's be very clear. It came out a long time before that. But
maybe
yes,
that was true.
It is. It's the Z. The Z is one of my top 10 favorite cars as well. Yeah.
Or even a 3000 GT is better. But anyway, I digress.
It's still in the top 10. That's also in the top 10. The VR4 3000 GT, the 300ZX twin turbos, the GTRs, the RX-7s, FDs, obviously, the Supras, JZA 80s. I mean, they're all. Wait a minute. Why am I defending the Supra from you? Aren't you like
I don't know.
You're from the land of the. I can't. Right.
All right. I think we need to move on to the next question.
Please.
I apologize.
I hope it's better than the first question.
So the second question is definitely better than the second question is definitely better than the first one.
Okay,
so
good.
The second question is I went with you to the UPS store last year, And
Yeah, the UPS store.
And in 5 minutes, the owner invited you to her son's wedding. How do you do that?
I don't know how to answer this question. So so there is a backstory to this. Danny and I went to the UPS store. We were doing title stuff, I think, for the Supra. I don't remember. What were we doing?
Yeah, we're notarizing the bill of sale.
Notarizing the bill of sale, yeah. Was my cousin there? No, my cousin wasn't there. No. It was just us two.
No,
yeah.
Just you.
Yeah, and I think we were just getting to talking to the UPS people, and we kicked it off. We bonded. And that's the kind of bond you get at an autocross, too. It's the same feeling. Like, you're out in the parking lot, it's hot outside, it's cold outside, it's rainy, it's dry. You know, you look some guy in the eye, and they're just like, we're friends now. You know, it's the same thing that happened in the UPS store. That's all I got for you. That's...
Okay, so the only thing I can add to that is... I think all the UPS guys are all the UPS guys are probably running at the Porsche Autocross because that's the only group that will give you food. Okay,
delicious food, delicious.
All right,
food.
Okay, yeah, but it is true. I mean, like her owner came right out, started bringing out all the food, and invited her to the wedding, and I'm sitting over there going like, "What about me?" And then she was like, "Tell me to get lost." So yeah, I'm still bitter from that, but
there wasn't enough seats at the wedding, Danny.
That's okay, right? All right, and then the time flies, and then I would say this is usually towards the end of our podcast here, and then we have the final segment called the novice meeting.
Oh yeah.
All right, Ada.
This is my favorite segment, I think. So for our experienced listeners, you are now excused, just like at an autocross. After the driver's meeting, you can go. Newcomers, please stick around for a quick novice meeting. Today, we're going to discuss how to register for an autocross event using motorsportsreg.com. All
right. So Ada and I is just going to freeform this, and then we're going to show you how to register for events. So there were a couple questions posted on the DMV Autocross Facebook group about people coming in new. How do they even find events, right? Yep. So that's definitely one of the things that inspired us to do the podcast because we realize that there are new autocrossers, there are old autocrossers, and then there's a spectrum of things that people want to know, and whether if you're old or new on when is registration coming out, where do you register, what do you do, and what do you have to do at a first autocross, and then who's designing the course, how do you attack certain elements. So these are the type of things that we're going to try to cover. But for today, for the registration, for years and years and years, registrations are usually scattered across the board, especially for local ones. I remember the DLB racing, .com days. And then of course Ada and I started quite some time ago. I still remember that the first, you can actually walk up
with cash
to register. Yep. And then you also have, so like I remember the first national events or the year pass or the annual passes and stuff like that. You actually have to fax the forms in, stuff like that. So that's a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
But nowadays, and of course, you start having organizations start consolidating these type of services too. So one of the major organization that actually came in and actually took everybody, basically took all the business away from other registration sites and vendors is motorsportsreg.com. Right. So if you go to Motorsports Reg, usually when you get into the site, it will give you the homepage where there's going to be an area where you can search for events next, close by you,
and filter.
Yeah, and then so what you do is when you go in there, you can certainly filter them. In autocross, is actually the very first box, if I remember correctly, for the filtering. So you want to check the autocross box. Yep. And then, of course, if you look down, you'll see motorcycle events and HPD events and time attack events. So whatever interests you, you can just filter them. Yep. And then there are two more boxes for the search. One is distance, to the event, and then the other place is your zip code, or your location. So what you do is you go ahead and put in your location and determine what they are. So typically for the DMV area, what I like to do is I will select my hometown. I live in Gaithersburg. So I either select Gaithersburg and Rockville, and I expand my search to 120 miles. And the reason I do that is because from my house to Waldorf is 60.3 miles. Mm-hmm. And from my house to Ripken Stadium is 65 miles, right? So if you do the 60, a mile limit search, you're going to tend to miss some of the events that are local to you, especially if you live in Virginia, you will miss the Ripken events or vice versa.
Bump it up just a little bit to give you that buffer. Yep.
That's correct. If you go to 120 and do autocross, and then you'll start seeing all kinds of events that are popping up. And then once you're there, and then that's the then you can select, the information. And then of course there's several buttons for links that each event has. There's always details of the event that tells you what time you have to get there, what you have to bring, and so forth. And then of course for the registration. And Ada, do you want to go into a little bit more detailed about like registering classing or something?
Yeah. Let's talk about that just for another 30 seconds. But before that, there's also another page, a tab that says "See who's attending," and with that tab, you can see who's going to be in your class or who's going to be at the event. And if you see a name that says Danny or Atta, we're going to be there, right? So it's a way to know, hey, I don't know anyone that autocrosses, right? But I know these two dudes. I heard them talking nonsense on a podcast. I'm going to walk up to them and, figure out who they are. So it's a way to kind of get involved without knowing anyone. And that's one of the hardest parts for everyone, is doing something you've never done before, right? And so any event that we'll be at, we'll be happy to talk to you, happy to point you, happy to, introduce you to other people. And that's the most fun for me, is these people, right? So
yeah. I hope you don't run away from us after the show.
Get them. They will run after you, chase you down.
Oh my God, we're gonna get away from you as far as I can.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah. So going back to what you were saying, Danny, about the intricacies of it. Go ahead and figure out what class you are. If it's a BMW event and you don't know what class you are, message the registrar. Hey, this is my car. What class should I sign up for? Boom, they'll get back to you. PCA, same thing. SCCA, same thing. Reach out and someone will be happy to help you. Like, because this is a passion, right? This is all of our passion. And bringing more friends into it just multiplies the fun. So, all these events. I don't know if I left out any, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And one thing I'd like to add is, and one of the things that inspired us to do, this podcast was the popularity of the DMV Autocross Facebook group, right? So a big shout out to Josh Barnes. He started, the pages, mm-hmm. and then with the people like Mike Brown and the friends of us started pushing around, and then Mike will email us and say, hey, join this group and so on and so on. Yeah. And so I think Ada told me that he was the 15th person that joined the group, and
Mike was just blasting me. He was like, join this page now, and I was like, right. You got it.
And I joined when I was probably less than 100. And then in a couple months, when I look at it, it's over 1,000 people. Right. Yep. So to be quite frank, I only know probably 20% of the 1,000 people.
Maybe. Right. Maybe.
So what this means is there's a tremendous amount of interest in autocrossing. And then because we're running in certain circles and we're not meeting each other, so we definitely think that there is a huge opportunity for everybody to see what's available at the DMV area, and then the clubs that we're doing. And then this is one of the key reasons that we did this. So by all means, if you have any questions or registration questions and things like that, it doesn't hurt to just post on the Facebook pages. Yeah. I know that plenty of people with tons of experience will help answer. I know Ada and myself certainly will. So please go ahead and use that facility. And it's and again, thank you to Josh to make everything like this happen.
Yep. Thank you to Josh.
All right.
There's a few other thank yous, right? Ryan's been helping out a little bit and in the background. Greg Jones has been forcing us to do something. So.
That's right. Thank you to Ryan St. Louis. Thank you to Greg Jones. And then, we won't start this Greg, I mean, you're the person why we start this. So I hope you're happy. All right. And then right before we signed off, and then this is obviously a community effort.
Yeah.
Ada and I are just the two persons that started this. We hope that we have a lot of folks joining us. If you're interested to be a presenter, and then work with us to kind of continue this podcast, you're 100% welcome. Myself, I've been learning how to use all the equipment in the past couple of days, and then in fact, Ada, I was complaining so much about like I look old, and Ada told me to let's just get going. So
you look beautiful. You look
right.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
All right. No, let's cut that out. All right. So, and again, thank you for joining us for this novice meeting and this podcast. We look forward to helping you navigate through the exciting world of autocross in your future episodes. And this will wrap up our pilot episode. Thank you for spending the last, exactly 31 minutes, with us. We hope you found this informative and fun.
Yep. And don't forget to join us for the next episode. Until then, keep those tires on track.
All right. Thank you. Okay.
Thanks.
Take care, everyone.